like axial precession, which was reflected in their religious beliefs. He linked the astrological age of Gemini with the development of the dualist themes in Egyptian religion. The age of Taurus was the bull god, Apis, and the age of Aries was the god Amun, who was depicted as a ram. He also argued that the human form was the basis for ancient Egyptian architecture, and he equated parts of the temple with parts of the human body. His 3-volume work, The Temple of Man, includes a drawing that compares the plan of Luxor Temple to the shape of a human skeleton. Lynn Picknett and Clive Prince argue that these ideas were influenced by Swaller-de-Lubic's existing beliefs, such as synarchy and theosophy. Like many other esotericist figures, he believed that Egyptian civilization dated back much farther than conventional Egyptian chronology allows. Mainstream Egyptologists have largely ignored his claims or viewed them with hostility, although Eric Hernung points out that his survey of Luxor Temple contains information useful to anyone studying the temple today. He is an influential figure among the advocates of theories about ancient Egypt that challenge the conclusion of mainstream Egyptology mainstream Egyptology theories that are sometimes labeled alternative Egyptology. Many adherents of George Gurdjieff's Fourth Way find parallels in Swaller-de-Lubic's writing, and he has been an inspiration to authors like John Anthony West, who claims about the great age of the Great Sphinx of Giza are inspired by those of Swaller-de-Lubic's and Naomi Ozaniak. Rene Adolph Swaller was born on a moonlit night about 2 o'clock in the morning on December the 30th, 1887, at Asnieres at the rising of Uranus and Mars when Saturn was at its height. A luminous Saturn received by the Sun, which led him to make his way into the dark depths of the pharaonic symbolism. Indeed, Saturn and the Sun, two stars that are all contrast in essence, the dark one and the other luminous, are here united by a mutual reception, each being in the sign of the other. Thus, the fever of discovery he held the call of fire in the shadow granted by Uranus and Mars at the rising was found exploited in the unknown historical domains where he would bring the sunlight. The master Aor was born. He is the son of an Alsatian pharmacist of Swiss-German origin, but he is French on the side of his mother, Mary Bernard. It is the poet Oscar Lubis Malas, which is WLADISLAS, Lubix, LUBICZ, Milaz, MILOSC, or SZ, between 1877 to 1939, who surrenders Renee Swaller to the clan Bazawala in 1919, according to a rite of Polish-Lithuanian chivalry. He can thus add the mark of nobility, de Lubix, to his birth name and carry the signet ring of O.W. Mullick's ancestors. After divorcing a first wife, Marie Hessig, a painter whose son, Guy Swaller Hessig, Renee Swaller married in second wedding with Jean Germain, widow of a wealthy Norman shipowner, John Larry or Lemmy. She will take the pseudonym of Isha. In 1926, they formed a couple of initiates who offered an occult spiritual teaching. Isha Swaller from Lubix will also publish esoteric works such as her Bach. Now remember, this is being translated too, so it's not going to sound altogether English. Training, chemistry, and hermeticism. After receiving chemistry training at the École Normale Supérieure in Paris, he obtained his brevet as a chemical engineer, as indicated in the renewal of his French passport in 1919, and can teach this scientific subject. Between 1907 and 1910, Renee Swaller, who moved to the Villa Hira del Saint Remy les Chevreuse near Paris, took part in the classes of the painter Matisse before attaching himself to the French Theosophical movement in 1913, including Annie Besset, will sponsor the beginning in the new premises developed in 1912 at Square Rap. Renee Swaller will be one of the most faithful editors of the newspaper Les Théosophies from 1909 to 1917, where he will deal with the topic of experimental sciences. Newspaper then led by Livin Revel, then by his son Gaston, between 1880 to 1939, in the company of Carlos Laronde, between 1880, who lived between 1880 to 1940, and Rene Bryes, who lived between 1886 to 1969, among others. He will also orchestrate the movement of the Watchers, who will save the destruction in 1919 Black Balzac of Passy in the 6th arrondissement of Paris. Today became the Balzac Museum on Reynard Street. The press organ of the Watchers movement will be the newspaper Les Affranchis, or Affranchi, between 1917 to 1919. The latter will defend the artists and writers just after the Great War under the banner of the Corporation of Artists gathered in Congress on October the 16th, 1920. The press organ of the Watchers movement will be the newspaper Les Affranchis between 1917 to 1990. The latter will defend the artists and writers just after the Great War under the banner of the Corporation of Artists gathered in Congress on October. Yeah, see, they're repeating that. Congress on October the 16th, 1920. The press organ of the Watchers movement will be the newspaper. Yeah, see. Yeah, they just started repeating that. Renee Swaller, who will soon take Eeyore's Mnemon Mysticum, will plead for a spiritual asceticism in the field of craftsmanship, a gesture which will result in the anonymity of a retreat in a phalanstery in Upper Engadine, which is Switzerland, between 1922 and 1928. This research center, reminiscent of Rene Guénon, see Theosophism, edition Vega, 1930. Rudolf Steiner's Guthenum in Dornach will be nicknamed Scientific Station Sahalia and funded by the patron and theosophist of Cayenne, Louis Galileo, who lived between 1878 to 1946. Sahalia, more than 200 meters high, on the hill of Savrata near St. Moritz, will develop multiple disciples: astronomy, weaving, stained glass production, homeopathic pharmacopoeia, idealistic theater, role-playing, Egyptian tarot, etc., but also engineering projects with several inventions in the automotive field, including a new flex fuel engine, Magic, License M, and naval aviation with a new propeller model, German patent N13632.